the Alec Baldwin shooting from the Rust film set. I sent it to you this morning before we came on air because I was getting on a flight and I was like, dude, you got to watch this. Mm-hmm. How crazy was that?
It was crazy. It was a amateur situation. It was people being intimidated by actors and celebrities and famous people, and a lot of things were done wrong. But I mean, I don't know if you can blame them. But it was crazy to see.
Yeah, it was really crazy to see, and we're going to show it today, some of the footage. Some we can't. There was some social security numbers, and
the entire first half is her dying.
Is her inside the church dying, which was really shocking to see, not just because of the death, but I guess from what you assumed from the media of where, okay, she got shot, she's dead, that's it. But she was very alive.
She doesn't die on camera.
Does not die.
No, she doesn't die on camera.
And there wasn't that much blood. Like, I was expecting this gruesome scene, and I can understand the confusion now after watching the footage of what happened. There's no way this person is dead. And yeah, it's crazy. I think eventually they should show this to all film students. I am being totally dead serious because something will happen on a set that goes wrong.
Yeah.
And if you were unprepared for it, especially for shooting these independent films, some of the things we're about to show you are what happens when you don't have a big enough budget to afford the proper people. Mm-hmm. Typically, when you get a budget for a movie, and I think in this case it was $7 million, you're trying to, as a producer, allocate the money as best as you can to make the film the greatest it can be. However, sometimes you sacrifice things like an on-set medic who is extremely trained and has a full first aid kit.
Right, you kind of have, it's almost like when the health department comes. You're like, I mean, I have it.
Right.
Is it,
Sure.
functional?
Sure.
No, but
Sure.
We pass all the, requirements kind of thing.
Right, and when you are trying to make the greatest film you can make, and I've been in this situation numerous times, and it has not always gone right. You were involved in one of those films.
Yeah.
And,
I was Alec Baldwin, except for it was a watermelon and not a person, but I was him.
And we were using live rounds.
Yes.
And we knew that going in, and it was just you and I. Were a couple of other actors in that scene, I believe?
No.
Yeah. I think 2 more were, right?
Okay.
Shooting guns in that scene. But we were trying to steal these shots because nobody would let us get away with it. There was another movie I did where somebody got electrocuted. And they were cool enough to be like, hey, bro, we're all done tonight. We're all done shooting, and I'm not going to risk getting electrocuted again. I love you. We need to shut it down for tonight. And that's simply because we did not have the money for it. But I was honest about it. I was honest with him. With us, it was a different story because it was just, you and I out in the middle of the desert shooting guns and whatever. But there has been a lot of occasions on independent films where you cut corners to spend the money somewhere else to make the film look better or get that actor you wanted with a bigger name or whatever the case may be. This is one of those cases for sure. And we'll go ahead and show some of this footage now and then kind of discuss it as we go. Go ahead and play that, Bob.
Okay, so a little context. The officer who is the body cam footage is from, he is in this first scene, for whatever, not scene, but first clip. He is just coming out of the church in which Helena was shot, and the director as well, I forget his name. He was on there helping administer first aid, kind of handing things to the people doing the real work.
Trying to shut down the scene, but was unsuccessful.
Yeah, and so now he's coming out to talk to Alec Baldwin. This is a deputy. He's not in charge of anything. He's just one of the sheriff's deputies. So anyway, I'll play the first clip here. Make sure it's good to go. Okay.
How's it going, sir? So my understanding, you were in the room when someone was shot?
holding the gun, yeah.
Okay, alrighty.
What do you need?
Well, I know your name, so
okay.
it's
Let me call you back, okay?
Let me get with my lieutenant and see where we want you to hang out, okay?
Whatever you want to do. Whatever.
Yes, sir. All right, give me just a second.
So then that's him the initial contact with Alec Baldwin right there.
Right.
Correct,
And he's calm because he doesn't know, and nobody knows how severe the injuries
accident
were.
is, yeah.
I don't even think they find out
Until
later.
later. Yeah, they don't
Later
find out
that
there
day.
until later that day.
Yeah.
They don't find out in the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep going, Bob.
Okay, so this is the cop. He just went and talked to his lieutenant. Now he's coming back to Baldwin.
She's handed me an empty gun. We only put the loads when we're ready to shoot. And everybody was prepped. Yep. Earplugs, everything.
All right,
Where should I go?
Mr. Baldwin, who's the director on scene?
The guy that was shot.
The guy that was shot?
He's in
Okay.
Where is he now?
I think he's in the ambulance.
Do you guys have a production car? Or?
There's an AD. His name is Dave. I'll get him for you right now.
I'm happy to stay right here and do everything that he's
Well, my lieutenant just wants you to stay away from everybody and not to talk to nobody. So I was
wait right here.
We can wait right here and have everybody step back, or we can wait in the back of a patrol unit. But I prefer to not put you there. Okay.
Alex, you want something? You want water or something, man?
I want to find props and get a cigarette.
I want to find props and get a cigarette.
Medium? Marlboro medium?
Marlboro medium, yeah.
He's making sure.
Hands are shaking. Right, cut.
I do respect that he's firing up a heater, old school,
Yes,
you
sir.
know?
I'm right
The
there.
silver car is Alec's vehicle. If you want to sit him in there.
Mr. Baldwin, is that your car?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can wait in there.
But you can't smoke in there.
Can't smoke in the car.
No.
Stay here.
We can wait in your car if you want to.
I can't smoke in the car.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can hang out right here then.
Can we pause 1 second? So this is the beginning of the kind of like Alec Baldwin. I mean, he is a very intimidating person, just in general.
Yeah, and
Because and he keeps trying to be like, no one, like in a real situation like this, you just shot somebody, no one can be talking to him. Like no other people that were around, witnesses, like he needs to be separated.
And the lieutenant, I didn't show it, but the lieutenant gave this deputy orders like no one talks to him.
No one talks to him. Like he needs to be somewhere. And he goes, this is another celebrity thing. He goes, should I put him in the back of the patrol car? And they're like, no, we don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. A, because it's Alec Baldwin. B, because you do want him to like continue to talk, right? And there's something about being in the back of a patrol car that me and Giorgio know.
yeah, you do.
It shuts you up. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You don't
yeah.
really want to like talk to the cops after that.
I don't know, no habla inglés.
Yeah. But like, so there's from here on out, everything that they're telling him and everything that should have been done, it just continually, because you're on a set.
Yeah.
It's fucking Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
None of this conversation should be happening.
No.
And the deputy's standing right there and just asked him not to.
And that's if the barrel is.
Okay.
If the barrel is. So who knows what else
Yes.
is in the room to my other hand.
Okay.
So that part right there, he's asking, was there blanks in the gun? They said yes. So all the other bullets were blanks, except for this one. Now he's trying to decipher how that got in there and why. He said, hey, we were rehearsing. Why didn't I get a blank gun? You're not supposed to load it until you're actually shooting. The other guy was describing shaking the bullets because in those blank rounds, you can hear it. You can hear it rattle in there, kind of like a baby, rattler. And what he's saying is, I would have had earplugs if we were shooting blanks and everything else, because it's still loud and it still goes off. And he is correct in that. So whoever gave him that gun, after looking at this, you can't argue that somebody did give him the gun incorrectly at this point. So it wasn't like he walked over, grabbed it himself, and then just did this off the cuff, so to speak.
Pew pew.
Right.
Yeah, no, I mean, this whole video is like not bad for Alec Baldwin.
Right. And this could exonerate him, in my opinion, after
Okay,
what?
so this is more of them talking about what the fuck happened.
Costume, Mary?
Costume?
An audience member could see, there's no bullets in the guns. You put this dummy loads in.
So that's the script supervisor, that girl with the hat, that I think eventually sues.
It got mixed up in her dummy loads.
It got mixed up in her dummy round.
Alrighty, guys, if I can
A live
stop
round.
talking about the incident until everybody's been interviewed separately, okay?
No. Yes, they do.
She's in the bird.
She's going. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay.
Stabilizing her, Alec.
Need to go light some candles. The cathedral.
Script supervisor needs to light some candles.
Yep.
Giorgio.
Scripty.
Giorgio.
They're going to UNMH.
That's your girl.
Shit really starts to hit here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Alec.
I thought this whole thing was striking just because, like, these people are, like, you know, the important people in the world or whatever, and then, like, they're children here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're helpless.
So I think they had just told him that it went in through her side. And
No, they're
went
about
up-
to tell him that.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, go
but
ahead.
what they just told him was she's been airlifted.
airlifted. So
Airlifted
she's
out of there,
left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At what point
Sorry,
do you
go ahead.
regret not making a sword and sandals picture?
So, like, part of it is, like, Alex sitting there being like, why did I have so many fucking kids with that bitch? Like,
Yeah. With,
and I have to do this shit.
yeah, with Ilaria. And I
You know
got to
what I'm
pay
saying?
for
And now I need
for
to do
7 kids.
this?
Yep.
Anyways, you say they do say
He's
it.
got
Sorry.
plenty of money, by the
I thought
way.
they said it
He's
before
got
that.
plenty of money. Alex has got plenty of money.
Yeah, he's good to go.
Yeah.
It's the last, basically, like 2 minutes of it. They all kind of sit silently for a moment. Everyone's hating their lives.
Yeah.
Where was it? 55.
Yeah, I think he left first in the ambulance.
So the director got driven
Yeah.
away.
98 from left, the out of service conference.
Nobody's consoling the hot costume girl, though, and that's troubling, you know?
This is where you need Giorgio on set.
Yeah.
So hold on. He's asking right here.
So where did it hit her?
He goes, they again confirm, I'll bring it back just a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
They again confirm that, like, the director's okay. Like, here, I'll just say it. But then he's like, well, what about Helena?
Yeah, he keeps asking.
Joel's doing okay.
He is. What's her story?
A little bit rougher.
201 on scene.
It was the shoulder, though.
On Joel?
But Helena, where did it?
So hers appeared to it went through her her right underarm,
Yeah.
and the exit point was on her back left shoulder blade. So
So we'll cross her body.
it went through.
And that's when they're like, oh shit.
Life-threatening? God.
Yeah, enough to get air flight. So, but
She was shocking, but she was conscious and responsive.
Why do they make so
because you have to stabilize, and for every narcotic and anything they administer, they have to wait a certain period. So.
Copy.
Yeah, the flight medics are trained ER techs, so she's in good hands.
So my question is, why weren't they all separated? You know?
Exactly.
Like,
So
like,
that's-
like they were saying.
It's chaos. It was just chaos. I mean, it's chaos over there. I'm guessing the whole movie shoot was like this? Just like complete and total.
A lot
what's
of
going
independent
on?
films are, though.
For sure. I'm
You
just
know?
saying, like,
Robert Downey Jr. said he wouldn't do them anymore.
do what?
Indie films.
Yeah.
For that reason. He was like, because
It's
it
just
sucks
chaos.
when someone comes up to you as like the big actor and they're like, hey, can you pay for catering today?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're
Or
out.
like asking you questions about where somebody is. Like, it's always like, where is blah, blah, blah. And you're like, I don't fucking know.
Right. Right.
And the
Where
back of
are
the grip
they?
truck is always the coolest place to hang out.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's the tent where the director and someone is, but if you want to be away from that, you're over right by that grip truck.
Oh, for sure.
So Alec here real quick in the last literally 30 seconds of the entire video.
Sure.
He's asking the AD, like, I'm sorry, this sounds like a fucking bullet to me, not a blank.
Yeah, because he said, what was she hit with?
Yeah.
What was she hit with?
So,
Like,
yeah, here,
that
I'll-
would do that.
All right, play that clip up.
I went over to Sarah and she was crying and shaking and going through the bullets and saying, I don't know how that got in there.
Oh.
So I don't.
Sarah's the armorer.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know anything about accident ones that are real bullet.
And that's the end of the footage.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So we see them kind of coming to grips with what it is, saying who, the two main people that are responsible, first AD and Sarah.
The armorer. Yep. And after seeing it, because look, the reason I wanted to show this too is we went hard against Alec Baldwin this entire time. And if he were the one who had grabbed the gun from the armorer, from the truck on his own, and then went in there and then fired that round, that would have been on him. But it wasn't.
No. He doesn't look like he would even do that. But
And I
by the
start
way-
to question after watching all these interviews with him that he has never seen this body cam footage. Otherwise, I don't think he would have done any of that shit.